Okay, so today we're going to be talking about judo throws applied to no-gi or wrestling situations, okay? And the ones we're going to talk about today, this will be kind of a Judo for Wrestling 101, will be all hip throws. So I started judo when I was 9 years old, and I let that carry me into wrestling like a lot of judokas do. They make the transition to wrestling in high school, and they wrestle in high school or college also. But when I was little, I was always placing at nationals. I happened to win nationals one time as a junior when I was 14, and I was a Pan American runner-up as a 15-year-old, as a cadet, let's say. And I made that transition more into wrestling. The thing about judo in wrestling is that the stance is different. Judo, I'm standing straight up. Wrestling, I'm more in my wrestling stance. So it makes a lot of judo techniques harder to do. You gotta set them up differently because I need to stand them up all the way. Another thing that was a big transition for me was not having the gi. You know, if you've never done a martial art with a gi before, then it's going to be a lot more normal for you to grab someone. Once you start with the gi, okay, and especially with all how complex the gripping is in judo, once I go no gi, and it's a little simpler, honestly, you don't know how to create the same leverage that you can with the gi, because when you have a sleeve and a lapel, the force that I generate here is a lot more than I can without the gi. So I gotta find different ways or think about it in different ways to really rotate my trunk and bring them all the way through. So I just wanna go over some basic ways that I can throw my opponent with judo, but from wrestling ties. So a really simple way to do this, guys, is to get an overhook here and a tricep here, okay? I can also do this with the wrist. If I do it with the wrist though, I want to be pulling it straight the whole time. I don't want any slack in here. If there's slack in this, when I go to pull it, he can resist a lot more. Good, resist here, okay? If it's straight, then I'm just pulling it, okay? So, basic thing for judo is I'm gonna circle him towards me, okay? A lot of people, when I teach this, they'll come here and they want to circle him all the way to the back already, okay? That's not how I'm gonna do it. I have him, if he's straight out in front of me, after I circle him, I want him to be outside here. This is all the angle I need, okay? So, in here, okay? And I'm gonna give him a step forward to get a reaction, and as he reacts back, I step out to the side this way, and I'm gonna pull him with my underhook here, okay? See how my toes pivoted with me? And now he's on this opposite side. One more time. I step in, I step out, and I pull him this way. Now, he's on this side of me. And now I can come in with my throws. Okay, so the first throw I'll do, and a good way to get, let's say, warmed up or get your coordination for the other ones, is just to do a regular hip toss. It's called an ogoshi in judo. My underhook hand comes down to the hip here. My right foot's already planted in here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step my feet together, and then I'm gonna pivot my feet around and get my hip out here, okay? From here, I really have to look, and I have to rotate. The next one I wanna do is my taiotoshi from here. And really, taio is not hip. It's all trunk rotation. In judo, it's classified as tewaza, which is a hand technique. If I have the gi, I'd be here and come here. And this is all here in my rotation. So, do the same thing, and I'm gonna do all of these with that same 1, 2, 3 step. 1, 2, but here, instead of bringing my feet together, I'm gonna step this one out here. outside of his leg. Here, and then here, okay? When I do this, I wanna be off the center line, okay? I don't wanna be here. I wanna be here, like in line with the shoulder, okay? I'm gonna do like a side lunge here, okay? And I turn this hip ever so slightly this way, just give a little bend in my knee here to rotate this through. But again, this is all trunk rotation, okay? As I rotate, I wanna look, and I really wanna think about bringing this underhook through, okay? Of course, I'm pulling with this one, but this one, we gotta use them together, okay? Okay, the last one that I wanna do here is I'm gonna show Harai and Uchimata together, because the only difference in how I do this is what I'm doing with my leg, okay? Actually, that's not true, because I need to bring my upper body in a different way too. Just, again, these are different axes to the same throw, okay? Think of how the earth rotates on an axis, okay? One's gonna be more over the top, the other one's gonna be more on a tilt, like there. So, we'll do the Uchimata first, okay? So, again, I step in, I pull them around. From here, I'm doing my judo back step, okay? My calf, my shin hits my calf here, and I'm on the balls of my feet, okay? From here, the Uchimata comes right up the crotch on the near side. Here, here, all the way up, okay? So, as I do this, it comes all the way straight up, just off to the side, of course. Here, and I'm bringing my chest down here and rotating it through. Okay. Be careful with your Uchimata though, because sometimes we tend to roll without the gi, or even with the gi after that, and there's no ippon, there's no knockout for a good throw in wrestling or MMA like there is in judo. So I don't want this guy to end up on my back. And the difference there with the Harai, here, I do the same step, here, here, okay? This one, I'm bringing my leg more this way, okay? And then here, I'm looking more around the back, okay? I prefer around my own back. I prefer this one to the Uchimata, because again, this access becomes right over the top. He ends up going straight over his head, landing flat on his back. Hope you liked that video, guys. Hit like and subscribe, and follow us for more content.